All right, I'll give it a second for people to come in. There's a lot on watch today, so I'm gonna try to kind of go quicker today so I can finish everything. What's up, Bruno? How you doing, man? Good to see you, and good to see that you're always like in first. Always first one to say hey. Maurice, what's up, man? I don't know if it was you yesterday or if it was you or somebody else who told me not to short PPSI. I appreciate that, and if you guys see me that I'm taking a bad trade or something, then please shout that out. So I appreciate that. I was wrong. I haven't really. I guess maybe I was just too confident, but I was over trading, and I had a red day yesterday. I was down 2-3K, so it was not a bad red day because I nailed the CBAT move and I nailed the WWR move. But if it wasn't for that loss, I would have been up huge on the day. So, but I lost huge on PPSI. So thank you for calling me out. Appreciate that. I'm going to be changing. So basically, what I want to say on that is I was kind of just trading off of statistics. And generally those type of moves should fail, but the last couple weeks, ever since SPI, we've had a new algo come into the small cap market, which has been running a lot. Like it has a new strategy of how it runs low floats. So it picks a micro float and it'll run it up without halting, and it'll reset the halt level without halting and keep going up and up and up. And that's how you saw the huge move on SPI, and then which was like 4,000 5,000%. That's how you saw PPSI yesterday. I think there's a few other ones last week. So now that's something I have to take into account. I can't just trade off of a stat from a year ago. So appreciate that, man, and I'm going to be working on eliminating those type of trades and not really getting into those. So that's what I quickly wanted to say on that. So thanks, Maurice, on that one. And yeah, we got to help each other, man. So yeah, you're welcome, man. Thank you. Elliot, watching TLC. Yes, I will go over that. What's up, Brian? Tiger Mom, thank you for doing this. You're welcome. What's up, Preston? All right, let's quickly go over my watch from yesterday. And hold on, let me actually. I may actually start into this pop on WWR. Anyway, quickly. So CBAT. We had obviously this huge run, and then huge short squeeze after this pullback. Now it's coming down. We have I'm basically shooting for a second red day. This isn't the most ideal A+ setup, but we can still might see something. But I'm going to be waiting for after the open to kind of see what it does, because second red days don't have the best odds. But if this does end up continuing down, then we might get a move down to $3. So out of the open, I like pops to 425 and 450, and then try to fade it back down to $3. PPSI, a huge move yesterday. It's gapping up basically today. What I'm looking for is if we get any, this is a tough one because I don't like it when it gaps up. However, it is starting to now come down below this, major 570, 575 level. So if we get a move down to like $5, then I'll be looking for pops into any key levels back to 580 and 630s, and ultimately risk the 7.5 level. Anything above that, I would consider reclaim, and this can keep going higher, especially since it's a one mil float. Else, it hasn't really been picking up any volume. It was up 100%, So this is a very nice overextended gap down. You know, this is probably a perfect pattern. However, it's only up on 20 mil volume. So if this had like 100 mil volume and this was doing this, then this would be a great trade. But for now, it's not liquid enough. Trading the size I trade, I right now I wouldn't get any fills, so there's no point. But I'll see what it does out of the open. If it picks up any more volume, then maybe we can get a trade on this. But if you have a small account and you're trading a couple hundred shares, you can get filled on this one. Just wait for pops, I would say. You got, this was support yesterday for the close. Now it's resistance at 7.7 ish. Good morning, Igly Trader. OPTT. Let me just check really quick what all the other ones are doing. Ooh, oh yes, Sun W, let's go. Nice. I wouldn't say sized fully in, but I took these pops here. But I'll explain Sun W in just a second. TLC. Sorry, I'm just trying to like not miss anything while I go over everything because there's so much. OPTT. So this one is a bit of a tricky one for me. You can see it squeezed yesterday, and it's up 52 highs, but it does fail all the time. But this has a lot more volume than it's used to have. So basically, I don't have Schneider's Garage, man. Good to see you. So pre-market chart has failed. Actually this was not a bad pop. Yeah, I probably should have taken that. But I'm gonna wait till the open, kind of see what it does, because it's a 52-week high. Not my favorite type of setup on more volume than its previous resistance. So I'm just gonna wait for the open. But if we get some kind of quick spikes up to 350s, 380s, risk off of pre-market 438, then I'd like to take those pops and then see what we get on the downside. But if we have a pullback, if we pull back, we can get a red to green move and keep going. So I'm just gonna kind of wait it out and see what happens there. Okay, that was a nice pop in WWR. Yeah, so WWR, I missed my entry that I wanted, but that's okay. Shares are probably pretty expensive. Let me check how many. Yeah, I'm not gonna trade this anyway today, unless borrows go cheaper. It's at 13 cents per share. That's just for full size. I'm gonna be paying like $700 for borrows. I don't want to do that. But if you have cheaper shares, here was my plan. So because it squeezed after hours, I would say that a lot of shorts have been margin called and bought in. So I would say that there are less shorts in now than there were yesterday. However, this doesn't mean that this can't squeeze huge. So basically, I wanted pops to 1250. Anything above 1250 would be my risk, and I would consider it to still be on the front side of the move. So this was a perfect pop to 1275 was the top. So if you could have gone a 12.5 entry, so that'd have been nice. But shares are expensive, so I don't want to take it. Mercedes Peck seems interesting on the long side. What do you think? Give me a sec. I'll get into that one. Actually, whatever. I can just go over that one first. TLC. This is. I knew this was gonna happen. That's why I wanted to just take a starter. But I hate shorting support. Sometimes you short support and you get more fade. Sometimes you short support and then you get squeezed 30, 40, 50, 100%. So that's why I hate shorting support. Okay, so Peck. Peck is an interesting one because it's a very tiny float. And it had a huge move on with halts on the 24th of September, and now you can see that it's gapping up right into this resistance. So This one is a very scary short. So if you're looking at it as a long, Maurice, then you're looking at this chart correctly. However, it is up 80% pre-market. So yes, if it breaks 14.5, then yes, I would say that's a breakout. I would look to go long on that as of right now, because it's still right under resistance. It's still, I would say, more leaning towards the short side. But I won't be touching this until after the open, because I want to see what it does. Because I know it can halt. You know, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna try to step in front of it. However, if we get if right now, you know, pre-market, we get if it pulls back 50% or more, so if it comes back down to like 1050s, you know, 11s, then yes, I will look for a bounce, possibly back up to 13 to short. But if this holds up and this goes, then yes, this could be a good long. Rave, I'm interested in this one as well right now. If we look at the daily, it's a downtrending chart. If we look a little bit further out, 2 years, you can see that it has quite a bit of resistance here in the 250s. However, it's not really on any volume, which is what I don't like. It started to gain volume in these days, in the last half a year, you know, ever since kind of COVID thing. So really anybody here that has been in it is, you know, is down quite a bit. I mean, obviously there's not a lot because there's not a lot of volume traded, but this is like a low volume bag holder chart. Pop, you know, any huge pops or anything are going to be sold into, because people, you know, if you bought this at $3 and then a year later you're still holding it at 50 cents, like you're going to sell into any sizable gap up you get, right? So everybody here, you know, is going to try to get out. And obviously the pre-market chart has failed. You know, it's at 380, it's pulled back quite a bit. It's under VWAP, so I like really any pops to 250-ish and 290s. I would, you know, try to size into that and then see if it's backside. If it stays above $3, then I'm gonna get out. Eric. This is exactly what I was worried about on this one. So Eric is a 52-week high gap up. So I really don't like these charts because, you know, if everybody sees that it's a 52-week high and there's a lot more longs in it, and there's a lot more people trying to push it up, you know, eventually it may fail, but even then, like you saw on CTIC, you saw on CTEC, you know, what was the other one? Saba, CRDF, you know, huge gap days, gave a little bit back on the first day, but then and eventually just kind of started slowly grinding up. So, you know, I'm assuming this is what this may do. Plus, there's no real volume weighted resistance. The only play that I was thinking of was if this pre-market chart, you know, pulled back this much and then short into a bounce, which is kind of what it did. But as you can see, it came all the way back up. So this is very dangerous to me. This shows me that this has so much strength in it. So I don't want to be shorting this anymore. So I will wait for the open and just see what it does and then make a plan for it on, you know, either the long or short side. This could end up actually being a good long. So anyways, Sun W. This is my ideal short. What I like to look for every single day. Let me zoom in a little bit. On 6 months, you can see obviously Sun W had a huge run up to 850. Previously, you know, it was kind of when SPI was happening, and now it's gapping up into all this resistance. So if we look at, I want to look at the intraday on the run that it had. So, you know, I still have my lines and levels from last time, so you can see that, you know, there's a lot of support, or at least at this point there's a lot of resistance, you know, in the 490s, and 550s, somewhere around there. So you can see now that that's exactly where it's gapping up into. So that's where I took my starter and looking just to fade this back down. If we risk is pre-market high and then just reshort higher, kind of once it starts topping out. But for now, this is pretty ideal. I don't really have much more to say to that. It was a run, huge volume. This is just a basic bounce plus gap up short. Don't really know if Steven Dux would be shorting this or not, but it seems like this is one of his trades as well. TLC, okay, this is kind of a good example of why you don't want to short support, because if you shorted this, once it started fading, you're like, oh no, I don't want to miss it. You have FOMO, and you short this at 670 or whatever, and it just rebounds right away. So now it looks like I don't even know what this can do, honestly, but I'm not going to touch it unless I get some kind of pop out of the open. But TLC, it's a lower volume play. You can see that on the daily, it gave it all back. It gave its gap back on 12 million volume. This day it ran and failed, but what, like a million shares? So more or less of a fresh chart. It's starting to create bag holders with this move, and it's only had 2 million volume today. So if it dies out of the open, it's not really going to trade more than 12 million volume, 12 million shares. So if we can get a quick pop to $8, then I would like that. I'll take a short there. My risk would be just a VWAP reclaim. PEC no shares anyway. That's what stock says. Let me see. Yeah, no shares on PEC. Send up Nick. Send W about. Yeah, man. You are right. You have a Nick. You have a really good read. I'm glad you're in the room. You have a really good read on stocks. It's probably because you've studied Steven Dux so much. Same here. But yeah, bounce plus gap on SunW for sure, man. I want to say something on that. Yeah. So if you guys I don't really promote it that much. I just have links and I kind of mention it sometimes. But I have a room. We're getting some good traders in there. That I just send out daily watch lists. I do my alerts with commentary, trade plans, things like that. So, and then once we get more people, then I'm going to start doing like live webinars eventually, and uploading videos on like recaps. So on trades. So if you guys are ever interested, $49 a month. Link is in my profile on Twitter, or just DM me or something. I don't know, but if you're interested, you can do that. Okay, traded. Feel like SOL going to go today, likely looking for dips under VWAP. Let me check Sol. I already don't like it. New York stock. Oh, I saw this one. Yeah, actually saw this one as a breakout. So yeah, you have a good read on this one. I would, as of right now, it's breaking out pre-market, but you don't want to. I wouldn't take a breakout trade pre-market. You gotta wait for the open, but this is a decent setup, but it's not my trade. Nick, I study every day. Yeah, dude, I started doing this full time ever since I started, and I studied 15 hours a day. I have literally every single top guru's course or DVD. So I've studied everybody's, even Roland Lawnside and everything. I've studied everyone relentlessly. So that's good. Keep it up, man. Yeah, Eric. Yeah. Now that I have this huge move, I don't like it anymore as a short. And plus, kind of a weird pre-market chart. But okay, I'm gonna end that there. So I have 5 minutes to get ready before the open. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Morning. Any quick questions? Then I can answer that, but if not, see you guys tomorrow.